All right, we live, Kings. Everybody mute their mic.
All right, shalom, man. All right, so let's get right into it. The breakdown of the unit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all said something, I couldn't hear y'all. Okay, come. Yeah, that mug definitely went live. Let me look at it real quick. Because I got a notification for live. Let me see. Yep. That mug extra public. You see it? I don't know if you see it.
Got the same notification.
Yeah, that mug live. Yes. All right.
Oh well, let's go.
Come, let's get it. All right, let's get Matthew 19. Yeah, man, one of the toughest doctrines that I've seen in the scriptures, man. One of the toughest things. But hey, he that got it, ear to hear. All right, so Matthew 19, we're gonna start at verse 11.
It says, "But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given."
So it's telling you right now, everybody just not gonna. Good. Come, you can hear me? Good. So yeah, it's telling you right there, everybody's not gonna understand this, man. It's hard for a lot of people to understand this because of the way the world then shaped everything. So then when you hear this, you're like, oh, nah, that's impossible. These niggas out of there. But we're gonna read what it say. Hey, he that got an ear, gonna definitely hear it, man. All right, so he say, not all men can receive this saying except those to whom it is given. All right, go ahead.
But there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb.
So it says some eunuchs that was born this way, meaning they ain't have no control over it. They ain't want to be like this, but this the way they was born. All right, go ahead.
And there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men.
Meaning men did this to them to make them this way, whether it be chemically, whether it be putting something in their food, which is chemically, or whether it be a man taking another man in jail. Because what you're going to find out is this eunuch is talking about a feminine man, not a masculine man, a feminine man. Yeah, look at y'all man's face. So yeah, surprise, man. What we call a faggot or a queer or a soft ass nigga or whatever you want to try to call it, they are actually called eunuchs in the Bible, and we're gonna prove that. All men are not the same. You got warriors, and then you got men that's not warriors, and that's what this here is showing you. So start back over at top of 12.
It says, "For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb."
That means they was born feminine from their mama's womb. And if you know, I'm sure everybody then seen somebody that was young as hell, a brother that was young as hell, feminine as hell. I know we didn't all seen it. I'm talking about extra young. Why? It says some of them are born from their mother's womb that way. Go ahead.
And there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men.
And that's how we know, just like that movie Life, when the brother went in jail, one kind of man, and came out a different kind of man. He was made a eunuch by a man. Man, that's what it is. Go ahead.
And there be some eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake.
For what?
For the kingdom of heaven's sake.
For the kingdom of heaven. So remember, Christ said the kingdom of heaven is in us. We are the kings of the kingdom of heaven. So when it says making themselves that way for the kingdom of heaven, it's so they can serve the kings of the kingdom of heaven. This is not talking about a king saying, oh, I don't want to deal with women, or I'm done. That's not what that's talking about, because we know we was given that command to be fruitful and multiply. So to say that I'm gonna stop dealing with women, period, so I can serve the Lord, That's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. The man that was most like the Lord had the most females and the most concubines. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say the most because his son, boy, his son was no joke. So yeah, we just know that you know, this eunuch was not what they say it is. A lot of people will say it's just a man with his piece cut off. Okay, well, if that's the case, how was you born that way? With your piece cut off and you're still a man. If you're born without a piece, you're not a man. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is. All right, so let's get some information on it. Oh no, keep reading the rest of the precept.
He that is able to receive it, let him receive it.
Everybody's not gonna receive it, man. And we already know the worldly definitely ain't gonna receive it. You gotta definitely put on your spiritual glasses to be able to see what this here is. So let's get Acts chapter 8. Yep, let's get Acts chapter 8. So we can see about this eunuch. And I'm gonna send Elder this video to put on. Con. LG, I sent you something in the comment section. I want you to play that mug for me. So we're gonna read Acts chapter 8. We're gonna read Acts chapter 8 first.
It says, this is the book of Acts chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 27.
26.
26. And the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying,
who spoke to him?
The angel of the Lord.
So we gotta understand it's the Lord doing this here. We can say how we feel about the eunuch and get mad or whatever and say, I don't think he should be saved, none of that. But it's very clear that the Lord got his hand on this here. So he's telling you who doing it. So he said, the angel of the Lord, go ahead.
Said, and the angel of the Lord spake unto Philip, saying, Arise and go toward the south unto the way that goes down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, and eunuch, a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians.
So he was a servant to the queen. That's what eunuchs are. They servants to the queens, and also, of course, to the kings. But they are, in our culture, they servants to the kings. That was the Ethiopian culture, had a queen as the ruler. But they serve our women as well. But go ahead.
Who had charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot, reading Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join yourself to this chariot.
Who said it to Philip? The
Spirit said unto Philip.
So we know who doing this, man. Who hand is in this here? He said the Spirit is telling Philip to go do this. Go ahead.
Go near and join yourself to this chariot. And Philip ran there to him and heard him reading the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understand what you read? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me?
Except what?
Except some man should guide me.
A lot of us thought that this was talking about just regular men learning. No, this is talking about a eunuch, because this is a eunuch speaking. Just as the women have to be guided by the man, the heads of household, the masculine men, it's the same way with the eunuchs. That's the reason why they putting them up in positions, just like they putting the women up in positions. Oh, he feminine and soft? Oh yeah, they'll hire his ass real quick. Why? Because he actually supposed to be beneath us, but they putting them up in a higher position because all they do is keep bringing us down. So he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? Meaning that's the only way he gonna understand. Why? Because he don't have the understanding. All right, go ahead.
And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of which the scripture which he read was this: he was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth. In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away. And who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaks the prophet this? Of himself or of some other man? Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Yahusha. And as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water. And the eunuch said, see, here is water. What does hinder me to be baptized?
Now, 1,000 brothers will be like, oh, the way you look, the way you walking, the stuff you wearing, all that's going to hinder you. Why? Because we've been taught that. But he said, wouldn't hinder him. Go ahead.
And Philip said, if you believe with all your heart, you mayest. And he answered and said, I believe Yahushua Mashiach is the Son of God. And he commanded the chariot to stand still. And they went down both into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him.
He what?
And he baptized him.
So that's what it said, man. He baptized him, man. What? Go ahead.
And when they were come up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more.
That the eunuch saw him no more. Go ahead. What's that last part?
And he went on his way rejoicing.
Rejoicing. It didn't say he wasn't a eunuch no more. He said he went on his way rejoicing. So all it's showing you here in this Acts chapter 8 is this is the Lord's doing. There's nothing we can do about it. Just like in Matthew 19, he's telling everybody not gonna understand it, but it's just how it is. All right, so if you could play that video real quick. Now this is a video that they have up of a eunuch, the eunuch and Philip. Notice what the eunuch looked like.
Come on, it's fair use, YouTube, fair use.
Then an angel of the Lord said to Philip, get up and go toward the south to the road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza. This is a wilderness road.
Can y'all see it?
So he got up and went.
Come.
Now, there was an Ethiopian eunuch, a court official of the
you can make it big if
in
you
charge
can.
of her entire treasury. Worship, and was returning home.
No problem.
Seated in his chair,
he
was reading the prophet Isaiah.
Real quick.
Then the Spirit said to Philip, go over to this chariot and join it. So Philip ran up to it and heard him reading the prophet Isaiah. He asked, do you understand what you are reading? He replied, how can I unless someone guides me? And he invited Philip to get in and sit beside him. Now the passage of the scripture that he was reading was this: like a sheep he was led to the slaughter, and like a lamb silent before its shearer, so he does not open his mouth. In his humiliation, justice was denied him. Who can describe his generation? For his life is taken away from the earth. The eunuch asked Philip, about whom, may I ask you, does the prophet say this? About himself or about someone else? Then Philip began to speak, and starting with this scripture, he proclaimed to him the good news about Jesus. As they were going along the road, they came to some water, and the eunuch said, look, here is water. What is to prevent me from being baptized? He commanded the chariot to stop, and both of them, Philip and the eunuch, went down into the water, and Philip baptized him. When they came up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord snatched Philip away. The eunuch saw him no more and went on his way rejoicing.
All right. Con, so y'all see how he's depicted as a feminine man. Now, why is that? Well, we know even if they were saying, hey, a eunuch is a man that have his piece cut off, when you castrate a man, it feminizes that man because it takes away the testosterone. So if you castrate them at a early age, they're gonna grow up more feminine because they don't have the testosterone. All they got is the femininity, the estrogen. So the earlier they're castrated, what's that?
I was gonna tell that, y'all mean he can unmute his mic now. I killed that feedback.
Come. So it's just showing you, man, they know what it is. All right. The question is, why wouldn't they tell us what it is? That's the question. And the reason is because of what it represents for us as the men of the household, the lords. The lords are being served by these eunuchs. So in order to keep the lords down, they have to keep all of the people that's below them up. So that's how you keep them down. Have them thinking that they are on the same level. Have them working jobs that we can't get to. I mean, you go to Lowe's and Home Depot right now, you're going to see more eunuchs than straight men. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? In a place where it's supposed to be brothers that is heavy lifters. But again, they trying to keep us down. Same thing with the females. You're going to go there and see more sisters. Go ahead and throw up that second video for me.
All right, come.
Then we're going to pull out Josephus after that. Go ahead, Josephus. Now, this video is Alexander, the movie Alexander. All right, Alexander the Great. This is showing history, showing you that they've been known what a eunuch is. And then they'll put it right in our face that they know.
That's the eunuch right there.
Come.
Right there.
Bagoas, great king. Rayus boy.
Bagoas.
Nicely gilded, Your Majesty. Most successful. He was certainly one of the great king's favorites. Oh, he's went well with the years. What are you now, Bagoas? 18? 19?
Where does he come from?
The north side. From the hills near Susa.
You speak our language. Good. I'd like to learn yours.
It's learnable, my lord.
Listen to what he say.
Do my eyes betray me? Or do you wish to be set free? To go back to your homeland?
All my family is long dead, great king. With your permission, I will stay on.
Very well then, Bagos. Ptolemy, administer this. And that's the same of every person in the harem, woman and eunuch. Whoever wishes to be sent home to their families, let them. What?
He said, woman and eunuch. You can pause it right there. Can you hear me? That's it.
Yeah.
Come.
All right.
He said straight up, he said woman and eunuch. Anybody in here want to be set free, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, I was just going to add at this juncture, man, you know, for clarification purposes for those who don't have the ears to hear, but maybe still trying to hear. In no way, form, or fashion do we promote the breaking of God's law. I'm just going to leave that right there.
Go ahead, exactly. That's why we're gonna go into the law. So we have to understand the difference between the different types of men. And that's what's important, and that's what the law goes to. The law breaks down the different types of men. So we're gonna get to that next. But yeah, he said straight up, he said women and eunuch. All right, he telling you what they is. It's very important that we understand that. Let's get to Josephus real quick. Chapter 8. Not the other one, the first one.
Would you say Josephus chapter 8?
Chapter 8, book 4, chapter 8, verse 40. Book 4, chapter 8, verse 40.
Okay. I'm just putting it in the chat so the people know.
Come. Josephus, book 4, chapter 8, verse 40. All right. Now, what we're going to see here in the Josephus, we know in all the different books, everything not going to be crisp on point because they done threw a little dirt in there. So we got to be able to take the righteous, lead the wicked.
Hey, verse 4,
verse 40.
40, come. All right.
Come. But the only way we can tell the difference between what's right and wrong is if we line it up with the scriptures. The precept got to be upon precept.
That's
so
right.
if we lining it up with the scriptures, we're going to know what is saying, what's being said correctly in the Josephus and where they threw the dirt in at. So in the Josephus, they try to make it seem like the eunuchs is wicked as hell. Like it's a wicked thing that you're a eunuch. We just read in Acts what the Lord did with the eunuch. So we don't have to even worry about that part. But the purpose of coming to this scripture in the Josephus is just to prove what a eunuch is. Now we just seen it. We seen that they know what it is. It's a feminine man or a so-called transsexual, because the more and more feminine, the more and more they try to be girly. And they ain't no damn trans. They just a damn eunuch. That's what it is. So do y'all have it on? I don't know if y'all got it.
I'm okay.
Come. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Josephus, book 4, chapter 8, and verse 40.
Come.
Let those that have made themselves eunuchs be had in detestation.
Mm-hmm.
And do you avoid any conversation with them who have deprived themselves of their manhood,
mm-hmm.
and of that fruit of the generation which God has given to men for the increase of their kind?
Mm-hmm.
Let such be driven away as if they had killed their children.
Good.
Since they beforehand have lost what should procure them. For evident it is that while their soul is become effeminate.
The soul is what?
Become effeminate.
To tell you their soul. Their soul is effeminate, man. That's what it say. That's very important to understand, because we see that word effeminate only one other time. And what we definitely go into it, because that's the number one kicker in the head. It's like, oh no, ain't no effeminate niggas gonna make it. Let's see what it say. Because if we don't go back and look up these words, man, we'll never really understand what's going on. We gotta understand it's a cover up going on, man. These heathens trying to cover something up. Not only just our heritage, our nationality, they're trying to cover up the order. They've been doing their best to try to cover up the order of God, man. And we're gonna reveal it. You already know. All right, so it said they have made that their soul has become effeminate. Go ahead.
They have withal transfused that effeminacy to their body also.
They what?
They have transfused that effeminacy to their body also.
They have that effeminacy that's in their soul, in their spirit. They have transferred that to their body as well. What's that mean? I mean, they want to dress like a woman. They want to walk like a woman. They want to shape their body like a woman. They be putting on them damn shapers, taking all them damn estrogen pills and all that to try to enhance the shit. This is what it's talking about how they try to make their bodies effeminate as well, just as they soul, to match their soul, to match the spirit that's in them, a feminine spirit. Now we see what it meant to be born this way, to what it meant for a man to make you this way, because it was talking about effeminacy, being effeminate. Let's get the other one in there before we hit the other one, the one in Acts. It's not that close. Now this is another one in the Josephus.
This is book 16, chapter 8.
Come on, say it one more time.
Book 16, chapter 8.
Say it loud for them.
Oh, this is the book of Josephus, book 16, chapter 8, and starting at verse 1. I'm gonna start. What is that? Verse 230, right?
Oh, I can't. Oh, it look like chapter 8.
I don't really know how to read nothing.
It's a book 16, chapter 8, and it's verse 1. Or verse 2. Oh no, it's in verse 1. My bad. It's in verse 1. Good.
It says, there were certain eunuchs which the king had, and on account of their beauty was very fond of them.
He says certain eunuchs that the king had, which what?
And on account of their beauty was very fond of them.
On account of their beauty. That's their effeminacy being transferred to their bodies as well. So it's saying on the account of their beauty, meaning they had beauty on them that the king wanted. All right, this is a heathen king. But as we're going to see, our forefather Solomon did the exact same thing. All right, we're going to get that too. But let's do the Malachos real quick. I think it's 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. To get the word effeminacy in the Bible. The word effeminate. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. First Corinthians 6 and 9.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Mm-hmm.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate,
Nor what?
nor effeminate,
Go ahead.
nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
So he's telling you, nor effeminate. Then it says abusers of themselves with mankind. All right, we have to see that. What does it mean to be effeminate? Let's get the blue letter on it. Let's get the blue letter on it. And if you can pull it up. I know he stepped off for a second. I'm get him to pull it up so everybody can see.
All right, what we got? Blue letter.
Come.
Let me go get it.
Yeah, it's real hard for a lot of brothers to understand this and accept it, even though it's right in your face. You know what I mean? It's still, it ain't hard to understand. It's just hard to accept. Put it like that.
All right, where we going? Blue letter.
Which one?
1 Corinthians 6, 9.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 6, verse 9.
Come. All right, let me share the screen real quick. Long the Bible ain't pulled up yet. Give me a second. 1 Corinthians 6. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and share.
Blazing.
All right, we up.
Come. All right, so what we're going into is the word effeminate. Now we're going to see how they tried to throw more dirt. Even in the blue letter, they tried to throw some dirt. But it's an easy way to tell the way they throwing the dirt.
All right, here's the sound of the Greek.
Strong's G 3120, Malakas. Malakas.
All right, now let's go see what that boy mean.
All
right, it's on you, out.
So you go into, you click on the word Malakos or Malakas. All right. Now we look at the definitions. We can tell that they threw some dirt in here. So read the definitions real quick, Art.
Say soft, soft to the touch. Metaphor in a bad sense. Effeminate.
He said, in what sense?
In a bad sense.
Go ahead.
Effeminate. Of a catamite. Of a boy kept for homosexual relations with a man. Of a male who submits his body to the unnatural lewdness. Of a male prostitute.
Of what?
Of a male prostitute.
Of a male prostitute. Now we know if we go back to Deuteronomy 23 and 17, where it tell you there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel, and then it say nor a sodomite. That's a male prostitute. All right. This is why they put this in there. They know our law. So this is the things that they said the word Malakos mean. They lying. All right. So how we know they lying? Let's go down to how many times the word was used. They say the word was used 4 times. Go ahead.
I had changed the definition of the word. So like I went to the root word. All right, here we go. Malakos. It was used. Here we go right here, reader. Go ahead.
It was used 4 times. All right, and it's used 3 times as soft and only 1 time as effeminate. I wonder why they didn't use the word soft in that spot. We're gonna see. So scroll on down to the times it was used. It's at the bottom. This is the best way to be able to tell what a word is. Go to how many times it was used and the way it was used in sentences. That's something that they can't hide, the way it was used in the sentence. So the word, the first one we're looking at is Matthew 11 verse 8. What that say?
It says, "But what went ye out for to see? A man in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in king's houses."
So if we just saw that, we'll think it just meant soft clothes. But we're gonna see it means luxurious clothing or lavish clothing. Read the next one in Luke.
Luke 7:25. "But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they which are gorgeously apparelled."
They which are what?
Gorgeously apparelled.
They which are what?
Gorgeously apparelled.
Notice they use the same sentence, but it's giving you the definition of what it is. What this is talking about is the clothing. How you got people, when 1 Corinthians 6 and 9 is telling you this type of person can't make it. The type of person that feel like they can't even leave the house without having luxurious clothing on, without having the best designer this, designer that on, the Gucci and the Prada and all that. It's saying these type of people cannot make it into the kingdom. So how do we know that? It never is taught. The thing is telling you that what did you go out to see? Like John was gonna come like this. Where's the prophecy that say John was gonna be effeminate? You feel me? So why would they expect John to come effeminate? That don't make no sense. But what they did expect is John was gonna be in luxurious clothing because he the one that came to set the way for the Lord. And where he was at out there with the what the clothing was he had on again? It was, say it again.
The soft clothing.
No, the one that he actually had on. It was some wild. It wasn't. There wasn't no luxurious clothing at all. But that's what they expected. They expected John to be draped up and dripped out. Why? Because he was the one that was coming before the Lord to set the way for the Lord. They ain't expect him to be effeminate because there ain't no prophecy saying that. So he's saying, what did you expect to see? Why would they expect it from a prophecy? It's simple. This has nothing to do with effeminate because this word is not the word effeminate in the Greek. All right, they put that in there again to cause confusion. Now, again, if it's effeminate, you got to show me a way where people expected John the Baptist to come as an effeminate man. All right, so let's get Romans 1 real quick. Then we're gonna go back into the Old Testament. Say it again.
Still in the blue letter, Romans 1.
Come. Romans 1:26. We definitely blue lettering.
Come. And what was that verse?
Romans 1. I said Romans 1 and 26.
Come. Are we still sharing? Let me see. No, let me go ahead and share this.
Come.
You say Romans 1 and 21?
26.
26 right here. Come, this is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Even their women did change the natural use. Go ahead.
And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly.
Now this is where we... My bad. Finish that off.
And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meet.
Come. Now this is where we get the understanding of what the law is. All right. So let's get down to the blue letter on 126. I mean 127. Here we're gonna see, we know in the Greek and in the Hebrew, we see the word man, or I should say in the English, we see the word man. But in the Greek and the Hebrew, they saying the different types of men. They're not just saying man, they saying the different kinds of men, which is important to understand who he's talking about in Romans 1 and 27. So he said, men with men, and likewise also the men. We're going to click on that word men, which is Aaron. All right. What we're going to find out is this talking about the masculine men. It's going to make it very clear. So go down to what to the definition.
Strong's G 730. Arrain. Thayer's Lexicon. Second entry. Arsane.
Con, that was it. No, not that one. I don't know what that one is.
I think you're just using
that was me. That was the first man, Salakia. I go back.
All right. Is that it? It's Aaron. Not that one.
G730.
Yeah, I had put Aaron. All right. G730. All right. All right. Hold on. Give me the book, chapter, and verse again. Salakia, my bad. That was Romans, right?
Yeah, Romans 127.
127. All right, let's go to it. My bad, y'all. Salakia.
Come.
And which one we going to? Aaron's, right?
Come.
Right there, there's some dispersed men right here.
Come.
Yeah, Aaron. All right, I'm gonna click on 730.
So we're gonna see this word is not the same as the regular, or I should say they making a distinction here about the different kinds of men. And this man specifically is what he's saying, that the men are losing their natural use of the woman and now going to each other. So Scroll
now,
down
this was
to the
the first
definition.
men. All right. This was
That's
the
cool.
first men. All right. First definition to male.
Go and scroll down.
All right.
It says male, man, man, child. Now, what's right under that?
That was the only one. Hold on.
The Strong's definition.
All right. Male, man, child, with G 5207.
What's right under that? Strong's definition.
A male. Strong definition. Range probably from G 142 male as stronger for lifting. Male, a man.
As stronger for lifting. Meaning it's making a distinction between what kind of male this is. Why would it say as stronger for lifting? You know what I'm saying? This man is the strong man or the warrior, which we're going to get in Deuteronomy 22 and 5 next. So he said the strong man or the warrior. Now, when we go down, that was the first men, right? Then we go down and it say men with men. Now, we notice this word was only used 9 times. If we look at the word man in the New Testament, that mug used thousands of times. You know what I'm saying? The regular word man. Why, when we started talking about some homosexual stuff, why did we have to make a distinction between what type of man we was talking about? Because there are different types of men. That's the reason. So he said, this man, these men are the one that left the natural use of the woman, the strong man. And they went, and then it said men with men, Aaron with Aaron, masculine man with the masculine man. And that's what they pushing today. That's the reason why they want to put the dresses on the masculine men. They can find 1,000 eunuchs to put dresses on. They don't want that. They already know they feminine. They ain't worried about that. They want to feminize the masculine man because the masculine man is the head of household. That's the reason why they want to feminize the masculine man. So say it again.
I can say con, my bad.
Con, you good. So we just got to understand the difference between the men. So he said this one is as stronger for lifting. Now let's jump in Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Same blue letter. Then we're going to hit that other clip.
Get it.
Con, y'all got it?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. It says, the woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man.
It said the woman shall not wear what pertains to a man. So we're looking at this in the blue letter. Let's look at that word man. All right. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man. So we know it's different kinds of men.
Strong's H 1397. Gever.
Okay. I said Gerber. But hey, that's what it say. So let's get the definition on it.
It says man. Strong man.
What kind?
Strong man. Warrior. Emphasizing strength or ability to fight.
Now, why did they just say the woman not supposed to wear that which pertains to a man, the regular man? Why did they go to and make an emphasis on what kind of man? Because there's 2 different kinds of men out here. All of them not the same. You got the warrior and then you got the weak man. All right. He's saying this one has the ability to fight. These are the type of men that women cannot wear their kind of clothes. Now, why is it making a distinction? Because women and eunuchs wear the same kind of clothes. That's the reason why it's making a distinction. Now the next one makes that clear. What's the next part of the precept?
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Let's blue letter that. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. What kind of man is it talking about? Because we just said it was two different kinds of men. Let's see. And this is why brothers have taken this verse the wrong way and got sisters thinking it's okay to wear pants because they don't know what a eunuch is. They're like, oh no, sister, you just can't wear what a warrior wear. No. All right. You got it?
Which one you want? Woman.
The man. It says, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, right?
Yeah.
So click on that word man. Mm-hmm. And you'll notice it's the same word, gerber. It's being real specific. It's telling you what men that can't put on a woman's garment. Now, why would it tell you and go to, instead of just saying no man should put on a woman's garment? Why did it go and narrow it down to the strong man, the warrior for lifting? Why is it saying that he can't put on a woman's garment? Because they're two different kinds of men. Can you see that, y'all, man?
Con, I'm reading also on my blue letter.
Con. So it's making a distinction for a reason. It's nothing we can do to try to change or alter, the way the Lord set it up. We just got to understand that the whole time when these eunuchs were saying, man, I can't do nothing about it, I was born this way, they was telling the truth. A lot of them was telling the truth, man. At the end of the day, they was really born that way. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? And why? How we know? Because Matthew 19 say it. And we'd be crazy to say, nah, they couldn't have been born that way. We just read it. You know what I'm saying? Christ did that. But again, so this is where we have to understand the difference between the law on how to deal with a regular man and how to deal with a eunuch. All right? A eunuch is actually allowed to wear women's clothing. It just said that the mighty man, the strong man, is not allowed to wear women's clothing. And we also read in the Josephus that the eunuch have that feminine soul and he transferred that femininity to his body. How he do that? Putting on them clothes. So it's important that we see this so we can understand why they have the mentality they have. Also, we cannot find the scripture in the Bible where a demon jumps on a brother and he started acting like a woman.
Nah, he been wanting to do that shit, bro. He been wanting to do that.
We can't find a scripture where a demon jumped on the brother and that happened. We find a scripture where he become more enraged. You know what I'm saying? We find scriptures where they go crazy. We don't find those scriptures where they become feminine. All right, that's real important to understanding. There's two different kinds of men out here. All right, so let's get Isaiah 56 real quick. Oh no, matter of fact, I want to play that clip, that other clip I sent you. All right?
Oh, you sent me another one? All right, let me go get it. The one from National Geographic.
Gone. So all overseas, they know what it's called. They just trying to hide it over here because the king's over here. Majority of the kings.
You said Isaiah 56, huh?
Man
or a complete woman, and not a mixture, not an in-between. This life is no life.
Mona belongs to a group known in India as hidras, or eunuchs. Indians consider Hidras to be an entirely separate gender. Like most eunuchs, Mona was born physically male, but in her heart, she felt very different.
From the soul that is within me, I have always felt like a girl, and I have never considered myself a boy.
To find a place in society, Mona embraced her only real option. She joined the eunuchs. Mona had her male sexual organs completely removed. She was physically transformed. Body hair vanished. Her voice changed.
Come. Ironically, the chick said, the soul that is within me. From my soul, I always felt like a woman. It's ironic she used that word, you know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. They was born that way. And she say, or he say, from the beginning, I always felt that way. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that it's just been out this whole time, but nobody in like even in Christian churches where they got the whole eunuchs everywhere, you would think they would have brought this out, right? So they don't feel bad about their effeminacy and the way they are. No, they don't bring it out because they know who they got to serve for their salvation. They know this. So they got to keep it on the wraps, man. Again, it's a lot of blessings that come to these kings. And they doing everything they can to keep us from knowing our blessings and receiving our blessings. And us being the teachers of salvation, this is our job to get out and let it be known God's order and show people what they got to do to be saved. So which one we at?
Isaiah 56.
Yeah, we're going to get that next. Keep going on the video.
All right, come.
Changed, and she developed breasts. And for 40 years, Mona made her living the only way a eunuch can, by singing and dancing at weddings and birth celebrations. In India, more than 500,000 eunuchs live on the fringes of society. Over time, they forged their own families with values and rules of conduct. Today, Mona is going to visit her eunuch family. She's partly supported by her two disciples, Nergis and Sonam.
We don't have any children of our own, so these are our children.
The trio scouts the streets, canvassing for work and jesting with potential customers. After a bit of searching, they hit pay dirt.
Y'all get the point.
A young
Y'all
couple
put the
is
next
yet
one
to
on
receive
out.
the blessings of a eunuch.
Come.
They're believed by many Indians to possess the power to...
Yeah, y'all get the point. These people know exactly what it is. They just been hiding it from us. I'll throw that other one on real quick.
Come.
Madness.
Now bear with me.
Done.
There we go.
Yeah, Lord said we gotta eat the whole roll, man. We gotta eat the whole roll. It is what it is. You can't eat half the roll. You gotta take the whole roll so you can give the whole roll to everybody else, man.
Most choir boys go through this transition of their genitals, their scrotal sacs take off.
And do you call
I'm gonna chop it in the
They are
mud.
very different.
It's smooth,
It's
y'all.
amazing. It's totally amazing.
You have to talk. Hey, afterwards, I want to find out. No, you have to talk about this.
I can only
I want to find.
sentences. I don't make 7-second speeches.
Okay.
Sorry.
I want to find out the etymology of the word eunuch and why it means something different for Indian people. So you guys got to give me your perception of the word eunuch. So, Archana, what is your perception of the word eunuch?
Okay. All my life I have seen eunuchs who kind of come to the ceremonies where when a new baby, when a baby is born, and they bless the child, and then they get money in return. Then they also dance at weddings, and then some eunuchs, unfortunately, they turn to asking for alms from people in railway trains and buses and all that, and they are little intimidating to most of the people, so they kind of are given the alms.
Okay,
So
but what is a
that's what I
eunuch?
know.
Not what do they do, but what is it?
I might have a misconception here, but I think those are people who are ostracized by the society because of the kind of physical differences that they have from the guys and girls who are supposed to be normal. So
Naturally by birth.
naturally by birth.
Okay, okay. And what is your perception of the term eunuch?
Uh, the whole community, there is this
It's a
entire
community.
it is a community, absolutely. It protects itself in such a way that a child who is partially or underdeveloped, where reproductive organs are concerned, can be picked up and protected and given a sort of a support base, which otherwise parents will not be able to give at a later stage. So they always visit a child's birth, they dance there, and they bless the child and the parents. But if they identify the lack of any genital or any reproductive parts, they also pick up the baby and take it into their community. Most eunuchs either ask you for money, they do not ask women, surprisingly, but you might be asked once in a way if they get down to it. But a lot of them, a major section of them, also are sex workers because they have to resort to that. Who, knowing their identity, would give them a job. So they are really a marginalized community, but they are a community which comes with the perception of how do you say, wanting to be of one gender. So the aspiration would necessarily be that we all are, want to dress like women, very pretty women at that. So they try to have salwars and kurtas and ghagras and cholis while at junctions. So that's really, really interesting. And I have my favorites at every junction, as I think the older ones, because I know that no one would even give them work if they knew their sexual identity. So that's my perception.
Okay, so this is Indian people's perception of the word eunuch, which the word eunuch to me has always been completely boys that were born 100% boys.
His ass
and
is a
in the
eunuch.
service of a king or some leader, they have their pieces cut off to remain loyal to the king. That's simply what a eunuch is, and that's what I've always known the term eunuch to mean. And obviously it has a very different meaning for Indian people, and maybe I'm wrong about the meaning. So hot for words, can you tell us a little bit about the etymology of the word eunuch? Thanks a lot.
That's it on that. So let's get
okay, there's another perception that
let's get you can stop. It's all good. Let's get Deuteronomy 23 and 17 before we get Isaiah 56. Notice he said they be selling.
You say 24?
They sell. Sexually. 23:17.
You say Deuteronomy 23. Come on.
23:17. Gonna blue letter that joint too.
Gotcha. What we breaking down?
What's talking about?
Deuteronomy 23.
Come. Deuteronomy 23:17. Go ahead, read it one time.
It says, "There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel."
So let's look at that word sodomite.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna step out for a second.
Come. He that have ears, y'all hearing. What's that?
All right. We here.
All right, so let's get it. That word.
Strong's H 6945. Kadesh.
Come. What's the definition?
A male prostitute.
A male prostitute. All right,
In
that's
fact,
what
specifically a male temple prostitute.
Come. That's what a sodomite is. A lot of people say sodomite just mean homosexual. No, it's talking about a temple prostitute. So he said, "It shall be no whores of the daughter." Remember, the women said that the eunuchs were selling themselves. So he's telling you that our brothers are not supposed to be doing that. All right?
That's right.
Now, this where it get even more tricky. Let's get the next verse.
Verse 18. "Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore."
The what?
The hire of a whore.
So he said, don't bring the hire of a whore. What does that mean? That's the money that you made from your whore. Surprise, surprise. It's going to be a whole nother video. Pimping was first started in Israel, and the Gentiles was the whores. All right? I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but yeah, it's going to be a whole nother video. We're going to get very deep into it. All right, what'd you say?
Okay. Those are 18 what?
What was that? 23:18.
23 and 18. My bad. Salaki, y'all.
Come on, you good. Yes, there was whores, but it wasn't supposed to be no whores of the daughters of Israel. That's the whole thing. The heathens was the whole. Right. And that's the reason why they got our women calling themselves bitches and hoes today. Because the Most High calls their women bitches and hoes. All right? Female dog, which is a bitch. He called that woman a dog. And he called them the hoes. They the real hoes of the earth. All right? Only way they not that is if we make them something else. If we give them an opportunity to be a concubine or something like that. If not, they beneath our sisters. We already know that. They still beneath our sisters, even if they are a concubine, you already know that. I mean, that's just common order with Israel.
That's right.
But we just got to understand order is very, very important. So it said, don't bring the hire of a whore. Now, for the people that might be skeptical, how would you, if you think that this scripture is saying that this brother is not a pimp and don't have the whores, then how does he have the money from the whore? There's only one way you could get the money that was made from a harlot. That's if you own that harlot. All right?
That's right.
That's the only way, man. That's common sense. So, read that one more time.
It says, thou shalt not bring the hire of the whore, or the price of a dog.
Or what?
A price, or the price of a dog.
Or the price of a dog. Now this is precepting to the one that we just read right before this about the woman and then also about the man. Now he's telling you, don't bring the money that you make from these hoes or the money that you make from these eunuchs. What is that? A male prostitute. But we didn't have temple prostitutes. That's the difference. The heathens had temple prostitutes. They had them in the temple. But the Lord is telling us that the money that we make from them doing that, oh yeah, that was not supposed to be brought unto as a vow to the Lord.
That's right.
Now let's go to a precept of the future to make it even more plain and simple. Because a lot of people will be like, oh no, there ain't no way that we was ever doing that. Okay, let's see what it says. Isaiah 23:17. Ironically, it's the same number, 23 and 17.
Yeah, man.
Ironically, it's the exact number. Isaiah 23:17.
It's the book of Isaiah 23, verse 17. And it shall come to pass after the end of 70 years that the Lord will visit Tyre and shall turn to her hire.
To what?
Shall turn to her hire.
Her hire. The same thing we're talking about 23:17. Deuteronomy, go ahead.
And shall commit fornication with all the kingdoms of the world upon the face of the earth.
The Lord is saying that he's going to make them do this. Now listen what the money going to be for. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness.
Shall be what?
Holiness.
It says it shall be holiness. People say that's wickedness. Go ahead.
To the Lord.
To the Lord. Go ahead.
It shall not be treasured nor laid up. For her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Lord.
It said that the money is not to be laid up. That's what it said in Deuteronomy 23:17. He said, don't bring that for a vow. So he said the money not to be laid up is to be for what?
For her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Lord to eat sufficiently.
To do what?
Eat sufficiently.
So you mean to tell me these men are pimping these nations? And it say the money is for them to eat sufficiently.
And for durable clothing.
And for durable clothing. This is righteousness, what the Lord said. I know a lot of people don't like it, but again, this is why the Lord made a difference between Israel and the Gentiles. This is a huge. Let's get one more just to clear it up. And put a little bit more icing on. Let's get Leviticus. I think it's 19. Because I didn't even really want to go into this topic, but it coincides together with the sexual laws, period. So it got to be brought out. I think it's Leviticus 19 and 20. Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Leviticus 19, verse 20. And I want to blue letter this joint too.
Come.
Oh,
Let me get this in the chat.
This is just so people understand. The way people look at society today is completely different than the way it was back then. All right. The Lord don't give a damn about now woman, Philip. Now one. All right. The way men treat women today is completely upside down from the way that was created to be treated. All right. Now this will make a distinction between the types of women, even amongst the Gentiles that we have. All right. Go ahead and read that.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 20. And whoso lies carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid.
That's a what?
Bondmaid.
So we're talking about a bondmaid. Who are the bondmaids?
The heathen.
The heathen are the bondmaid. Let's click that word bondmaid real quick. Leviticus 19, verse 20.
Strong's H 8198. Shifcha. Shifcha.
Let's get that definition. It says
maid servant, slave girl.
A what girl?
Slave girl.
This is not talking about our sisters. It's talking about the bondmaids. All right, go ahead.
Maid servant, as belonging to a mistress.
As belonging to a mistress, meaning they're under our sisters. Go ahead.
It says, of address, speaker, humility.
Give me the words. How many times have we used?
63. Handmaid, 29 times. Maid, 12. Maid servant, 8. Bondwomen, 3. Maiden, 3. Woman servant, 3. Handmaidens, 2. Bondmaid, 1. Servant, 1. Wench, 1.
Wench. What is a wench? Hey man, this is a different.
Hey, right there, man.
This is a different kind of situation going on here. All right, this is a wench. This is a bed wench. All right. Now let's get back to reading it from the top.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 20. And whoso lies carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband.
Betrothed. What that means? She is owned by a man already. That's just like anytime we take on a servant, she's now betrothed to us. All right, go ahead.
And not at all redeemed.
Not at all redeemed. Redeemed being purchased. So it's saying a man lied with this girl, but didn't purchase it. Go ahead.
Nor freedom given her.
And he didn't give her the freedom to do it. He didn't say, oh, nah, you good. Don't worry about the bread. Go ahead.
She shall be scourged.
She shall be what?
Scourged.
The word scourged means beaten. All right. She will get her ass beat. He didn't say, oh, nah, it's a woman. It's all good. We don't touch women. No, he said she'll get her ass whooped for that. Because she wasn't supposed to just go give it up without permission or without payment. Now, if this was a Hebrew woman, what happens next?
Surely she shall be put to death.
People is dying. All right, that's what happens next. But let's see what happens next when you're dealing with the heathen. Go ahead.
They shall not be put to death. Because she was not free.
Why?
Because she was not free.
Because this is a heathen woman. But any other time, if it was a Hebrew woman, she was to be put to death and he was to be put to death. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord.
He shall bring what kind of offering?
His trespass offering.
Why is it a trespass? Because that's that man's property. And he trespassed on that man's property. So it was a sin of trespassing. All right, go ahead.
Unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Even a ram for a trespass offering.
A ram for a trespass, go ahead.
And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord. For his sin which he has done. And the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him.
Shall be what?
Forgiven him.
So we was able to be forgiven for that. What does that mean? Just go and do it? No, it's a sin. We don't just go and do any sin. You know what I'm saying? But it's just showing you there's a difference between the women. When you're dealing with the heathen women, and it tells you specifically, this is showing you that this wasn't a concubine. This wasn't a woman that he had as one of his women. This was a bed wench. This was one of his hoes. So you understand. That's the reason why that sin was able to be forgiven. All right? Because notice it said he didn't pay for it and the freedom wasn't given to him. So obviously there was an opportunity to pay for it and he did not pay. You know what I'm saying? But it's just little stuff we have to understand to see the Lord. This is the way the Lord had us moving. I know a lot of people don't agree and don't want to hear it, but the laws, the sexual laws are different than what we've been told. Just like the whole adultery. You know, somebody in the world will think of a man sleeping with another woman, it's adultery. You know what I'm saying? Because of the laws have been misconstrued all over the place. But again, that's our job to bring it back, man. It's our job. So,
and to speak to the pimping part, you know, you really, you know, when you come from my era, you know, they had a thing called guerrilla pimping, right? Of course, we know that's when the pimp was, you know, BT bras, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you really look at what we just shared about how someone in laid with her, didn't pay her, you know what I'm saying? Then she come back to the pimp and expect for it to be all good. Now you got to get a butt whooping. For one, you didn't
straight
get
up.
You didn't get the bread, and then for two, you now already laid this cat for free. You know what I'm saying? And when you really look at those of you who know the pimp game, you really look at it, now you see where our people got this from.
Exactly.
It's just that being that we lost knowledge, you know, we lost, you know, knowledge of who we are and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? We start to inflict this particular thing on our sisters.
Exactly. When the law tell you not to, you know what I'm saying? The law clear tell you not to do that with your sisters. It say there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. All right, making a clear distinction for you, so you ain't gotta do no guesswork. Let's get Isaiah 56 verse 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord has utterly separated me from his people.
So he's telling you, don't let the son of the stranger say this. We let them say it all over the place. Isaiah
56 and 3.
Come. He said, neither let the son of the stranger speak, saying, read it one more time.
The Lord has utterly separated me from his people.
So this is a Gentile salvation scripture. He's saying, don't let the son of the stranger saying the Lord gonna separate me from his people. And what we doing? We telling them that. But we know Ecclesiastes 9. I'm gonna grab that real quick.
Ecclesiastes 9.
Is it 4? Ecclesiastes 9 and 4.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 4. For to him that is joined to all the living.
So he said, don't let him think that the ones that have joined themselves to the Lord say that the Lord gonna separate them from his people. Here he's saying him that's joined to the living. Go ahead.
There is hope.
There's what?
There is hope.
Well, he said, don't tell him it ain't no hope. Brother's been telling him, you ain't got no hope. It don't matter what you do, ain't no hope. He said it's hope. Go ahead.
For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
Read it again.
For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
That's what he said, man. A living dog, we know, is the heathens. And a dead lion is our brothers that sleep in this world. That's not keeping God's commandments, not understanding the importance of keeping God's commandments, and out here playing with God. That's who these dead lions is. So he told us, don't let them feel that way. But let's get back to 56 verse 3.
This the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord has utterly separated me from his people.
God.
Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree.
A dry tree means good for nothing. You ain't got no fruit. There's nothing you can do. Don't nobody want you. So he's saying, don't let the eunuch say, I'm a dry tree. I'm good for nothing. Why? Go ahead.
For thus says the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths and choose the things that please me.
He said they got to keep the Sabbath and keep these laws. That's the things that please him. These laws, statutes, and commandments. So he said he got to keep the Sabbath. But this is what he say to him. Go ahead.
And take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters.
The Lord said, even within my house and within my place. Now, where's his house and his place? That's our houses. Our places is his house. He said, even within his walls, they're going to have a place. What is their place? As a servant. As it has always been, as a servant in a servitude position. So he said, even them, they're going to have a place within his walls. Read that whole verse one more time again.
He says, even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters.
Now, first of all, let's catch the first part. If it's not a son or a daughter, what is it? It's obviously a third gender. It is not a son or a daughter. All right. So it's telling you he gonna have a place better than the sons and daughters in the household. So how is that? Let's get Galatians 4 and see. Galatians 4, because the scriptures tell you how to treat your sons and your daughters. Now in this society, it's spoil the hell out of them, turn them into spoiled brats, let them do whatever the hell they want to do, and they raised up as, you know what I'm saying, little princes and little kings, and nobody ever tell them to do no work or nothing. They just spoiled brats. But the Bible tells you don't raise your kids like that.
What you want?
Galatians 4. Galatians. Should be Galatians 4 and 1.
This Galatians 4:1. Now I say that the heir.
Come.
Okay. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from a servant.
It said what?
The heir.
The heir is your son, the heir to the throne. He say, long as he a child, he what?
Differs nothing from a servant.
He differs nothing from a servant. He no different than any other servant. This is how the eunuch, being a servant in the household, would be above the children, the sons and the daughters of the household. Why? Because a eunuch would be a grown-up. And if they are grown-up, they're going to be above the children and be watching and helping and guiding the children. They're not going to be equal to the children. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be above the children so they can help and guide the children. That's the reason why I said their name in the house would be better than of sons and daughters. But let's get it even more clear as far as their position. Let's get the one in, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon. Let me look it up. 3 and 14. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 14.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 14. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands has wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against God.
Nor what?
Nor imagined wicked things against God.
They still got to be righteous, man. We'll see. Most of these eunuchs wicked just like these women out here. All right, go ahead.
For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith, and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind.
An inheritance where?
in the temple of the Lord.
More what?
More acceptable to his mind.
To his mind. That's telling you he got a different kind of mind than other people, than the men and the women. He got a different kind of mind. Or I should say than the men. Because we know their soul is effeminate. What does that mean? They got a feminine soul, a woman's spirit on them. So you understand. So he said more acceptable to his mind. Why? Because they will be serving a masculine man. When truth be told, that is the job that they want to do. All right. The job they want to do is serve a masculine man. The Lord said that they're going to be put in a position that's more acceptable to their mind. As much as we feel like it don't matter what they think. No, he said it's going to be something that's more acceptable to their mind. And that's their position as a servant in the household under the masculine man. Yes, you masculine men out here. Yes, you do have to teach them. Yes, that is part of it, man. And it's the reason why a lot of the elders have not taught this. Because automatically they're like, oh, the nigga got to be gay. Automatically, that's the first thing. If you even teaching what a eunuch is, automatically the nigga got to be gay.
Yeah, anybody know me, man? They already know I don't fly that kite.
God, but that's the whole thing. You can't even say what it is. If you say what it is, they're gonna go up. And that's the thing. We got to keep it 100, man.
That's
we got
right.
elders. We got elders that have been in the truth for 30 years. You telling me they ain't seen this? Come on now, they seen it. Come on now, dog. Straight up.
That lip, man. Hit the little button on that. Come on, dog.
No, we ain't got our buttons right now. But real talk, you can't tell me that they ain't seen this here. But the thing is, they don't want to teach it because it's not popular and it's gonna cause people to look at them a different way. But only thing is, man, you don't want to do what the Lord say. Now you're gonna cause him to look at you a different way. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go even a step further. Let's get John real quick. John, do it. John 13. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. John 13, because this is even more so. Let's get 23. This is even more so the nail in the coffin of what it is. And it might hurt some feelings that Christ had a eunuch around him. A very popular man named John the Revelator. Yeah.
It's the
read that.
It's the book of John, chapter 13, verse 23.
God.
Now there was leaning on Yahushua's bosom.
There was leaning on his chest.
One of his disciples, whom Yahushua loved.
He loved them. Okay, so he was leaning on his chest. All right. Now, you know, we love the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But y'all already know, ain't no finna be no masculine man just leaning on a man's chest like that. Yeah, man. I don't mean a hug. I mean just sitting there cuddled up.
Yeah, man, I love bro, but I never be leaning on this brother's chest, man.
You feel me? I'm talking about cuddled up. We gotta keep it all the way real. It's only one kind of man that's gonna be in that type of spirit, man. And that's a feminine man. So let's carry on. Go ahead. What it say?
Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake.
So Peter is asking John to ask Christ something. Why is he asking John to ask him when Christ right there? Instead of just asking Christ. But go ahead.
He then lying on Yahushua's breast,
he's still laying there. Go ahead.
Said unto him, Lord, who is it?
He said, Lord, who is it? So he's still laying on this man's chest. He look up and ask him, who is it? Go ahead.
Yahushua answered, he it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it.
So he tell him, hey, this is going to be the person who it is. Now, this is a story we read all the time. We never really catch on to this man leaning on this man's chest like this here. But, hey, it is what it is. Go ahead. There was another one, I think, in that chapter, right? I'll get it.
Oh, I think maybe when they was washing the feet.
I don't finish that verse.
Oh, con. Verse 26. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then Yahusha unto him, and then Yahusha said unto him, that thou do quickly.
No, that was it on that. That was it on that. Just showing that this man was leaning on his chest, man. And again, just something that men don't do, man, at the end of the day. I wanted to get, hold on real quick.
What was that one we just looked at? John what?
13:23.
13:23, man. That's Mandingo. That's MW.
All right, get that. Which one was it? Oh, that Solomon.
Back up.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 8. Ecclesiastes 2 and 8. We're gonna blue letter this joint. We're gonna blue letter this joint.
You say 2 and 8?
All
right, let me go to the blue letter. Let me share this first. And you say Ecclesiastes 2 and 8. There we go.
This the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2. That's not still.
Nah, ain't cool.
Okay, verse 8. I gather me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of provinces. I gave me men singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts.
So it said the delights of the sons of men. Something don't even sound right there. Just the way he put it on, the way they worded it. That's how I let you know they trying to hide something. So let's get what it say in the blue letter. Ecclesiastes 2 and 8.
Ooh, man.
We doing sons of men, the sons.
Let's do the delights first. The word delight.
Strong's H8588. Tanug.
So this is the adjective to explain what kind of men these are. All right. So he said he had these kind of men, and then it says as musical instruments. We're gonna get musical instruments next. Go ahead.
It says daintiness.
What kind?
Daintiness.
All right. So it said these was dainty men. Go ahead.
Luxury. Exquisite delight.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasantness.
Mm-hmm.
Delight. Comfort. Luxury, dainty, delight.
All right, so it's telling you what kind of men, so-called delight. Where's how many times it was used?
5 times.
Go ahead.
3 as delight. 1 as delicate.
As what?
Delicate.
Go ahead.
1 as pleasant.
So it's saying that these are the delicate as well of the sons of men. What's that? It's not as strong for lifting. You know what I'm saying? It's the weaker men. So we just wanted to get that at the definition of that adjective that it was talking about. So it said, in the delights of the sons of men, or the delicate of the sons of men, as musical instrument. So let's click musical instruments. So he said he had the delicate of the sons of men.
7705. Shida.
Shida, as Shida. This is what he had him as. Scroll down, check out the definition on that joint.
It says concubine.
A what?
Concubine.
Okay, so it said it had the delights of the sons, or the delicate of the sons of men as concubines. That's what it say, man. I know a lot of people don't wear it. What you want me to tell you something else, man? That's what it say, man. That's all I'm saying. I can't tell you but nothing but what it say, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's like the deeper we go, the more people leave the chat.
Hey, you already know, man.
So like the deeper we go, the more people leave, man. It went from 2 to 0.
Hey, it's gonna be very tough for people to receive this, man. That's why he said we gotta go back to Matthew 19. Everybody just cannot receive it. Yeah, they gonna burn off. They gonna burn off real quick. But again,
that was 19 and what?
Matthew. We finished it. Yeah, we're gonna finish that part. Go ahead.
It says concubine, wife, harem, meaning unknown.
So it said a harem. A harem is your harem of women, like you seen under when we was watching the Alexander clip, where Darius had the whole harem, and the harem was full of women and eunuchs.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why I said the harem or concubine. This is what it say, man, that King Solomon had it as. Now, this was not the sin that King Solomon committed, because again, these were not the masculine men. The sin is the masculine man laying with the masculine man. That's the hard thing for a lot of people to just understand. So we have to go by what it say. There's a reason why there's a difference between the different kinds of men. So he showed us in the New Testament as well that the specific men that he was saying that was switching up laying with each other was the men that was stronger for heavy lifting. That's what's going on today. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's what Rome pushed. If you notice, you'll see more so them pushing the masculine men together. You don't hardly ever see them pushing a feminine man with a masculine. Why? Because they want to push the disorder, the misorder on purpose. All right, that's who they are. They turn everything upside down. But again, we got to go back to these scriptures to understand what it is. Even if we go back, let's get the law. Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18 and 22. All right. Now, just as when we were speaking in the New Testament, or we was reading in the New Testament, the word Aaron popped up when we start talking about homosexuality. Now we got to make a distinction between what kind of men we talking about. Same thing we're gonna see here in the Old Testament. It's speaking, you hear the word man 1,000 times, but then when we're speaking about homosexuality, we're making a distinction so we understand what homosexuality really is, what the sin really is. Go ahead, read that.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 22. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind.
As with what?
As with womankind. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou, you want me to keep going?
No, that's it on that. So that's the same thing he was saying in Romans 1 and 26, men with men. When we click that, it tells you this mankind This word mankind, it didn't say man, it said mankind. Very important to understand that. This mankind is another word for the masculine. All right. Again, it did not use the word man. It could have easily just put man there. But this word was used zakar. This word was only used 81 times. And it's also a word for head of household, which is the masculine or the strong man. And again, it makes the same distinction in the New Testament. So if we look at the regular word man, that mug said 81 we just read, right? So let me get another one real quick. Any other one. It don't even matter where it's at. Let's see.
Leviticus 15.
Okay, come.
33.
What it say?
Period.
Leviticus 15.
God.
33?
Yeah.
Come.
It says, and of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that has an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him that lies with her that is unclean.
Well, no, that's the same one. I'm
talking
talking about
the other man?
one that just tell you the regular man. You feel me?
Oh,
without saying
without
any
the
distinction. Right.
Okay, I got you. My bad.
Because this one is 81 times. Only 81. And we know the word man is so many times in the Bible.
5,566.
How many?
5,566.
And that's just like I said, in the New Testament, why do we switch up the words when we're talking about homosexuality? Why is the word switched? It's because just like in Deuteronomy 22:5, it's showing you there's the strong man and then there's the weak man. That's the reason why when we talk about that, we have to make a distinction so we understand the difference. It is what it is. Hold on, we ain't done. I want to get one more. Where's that one Peter in the boat?
In the New Testament.
We was doing that in trivia today.
Well,
I think it's Matthew 8. Let me make sure.
Okay, Genesis 2.
Nah, let's get John 21. That's what it is.
John 2:20. I mean Genesis 2:23. That's a different man too.
Mm-hmm. John 21:7. Let's grab that real quick.
John 21:7.
We can start off at you can start out at 1.
This is the book of John, chapter 21, verse 1. After these things, Yahushua showed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. And on this wise showed he himself. There were together Simon Peter, and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Canaan of Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 other of his disciples.
2 other of his disciples. It's very strange to just say 2 others, but go ahead.
Simon Peter said unto them, I go fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee.
We also is the 2 other disciples. Go ahead.
They went forth and entered into a ship immediately. And that night they caught nothing.
Go ahead.
But when the morning was now come, Yahushua stood on the shore. But the disciples knew not that it was Yahushua.
They ain't know it was Christ. Go ahead.
Then Yahushua said unto them, children, have ye any meat? They answered him, no. And he said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes.
These are little small distinctions in the story just to understand how many people are involved. All right? These are the 2 people and Peter. Go ahead.
Therefore, verse 7, that disciple whom
Hold on. If it was the whole group of people that he mentioned, it would be easy to pull all that to the shore. All right, go ahead.
Therefore, the disciple whom Yahushua loved said unto Peter, it is the Lord. Now, when Simon Peter heard that
this the disciple that was leaning on Christ's chest. It said the disciple that Christ loved said this to Peter. And that's what you'll see over and over. John the Revelator was called the disciple that Christ loved. All right? He said, read that part again.
It is the Lord. Now, when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat unto him. For he was naked.
He was what?
He was naked.
Why is this man naked on the boat with other brothers? Because these is not regular brothers. Look at y'all, man.
Come on now, dog.
Shit.
Now, why would Peter throw his clothes on? Because Peter thought he was caught, up. So what happened?
And did cast himself into the sea.
And Peter jumped in the water. Go ahead.
And the other disciples came in a little ship.
In a what kind?
In a little ship.
This was a little bitty ship. There wasn't no big grand thing with a whole bunch of people being able to get on it. It was little. Go ahead.
For they were not far from the land.
They wasn't far. They was just right there where Christ can talk to them from the shore. Go ahead.
But as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes.
Dragging the net with fishes. Go ahead.
As soon as they were come to the land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Yahushua said unto them, bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to the land full of great fishes.
Peter had to go up and get the net. Why? Because they not stronger for lifting. Why Peter had to go get it if all these disciples was there? Because it was only 2, and those 2 was not stronger for lifting. All right, go ahead.
153. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. Yahushua said unto them, come and dine. And none of the disciples did ask him, who are you? Knowing that it was the Lord.
They knew. Go ahead.
Yahushua then comes and takes bread and gives them, and fish likewise. This is now the 3rd time that Yahushua showed himself unto his disciples. After that, he was risen from the dead.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahushua said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, do you love me more than these? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, you know that I love you.
He said, you love me more than these.
God.
That's what he said to him, man. Do you love me more than these? What is these? These is units. All right, that's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
He said, feed my lambs.
He said, feed his lambs. Go ahead.
Verse 16, he said to him again the 2nd time, Simon, son of Jonas, do you love me? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, you know that I love you. He said unto him, feed my sheep.
Feed my sheep. Go ahead.
He said unto him the 3rd time, Simon, son of Jonas, do you love me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the 3rd time, do you love me?
They're making an emphasis on the 3rd time. Read.
And he said unto him, Lord, you know all things. You know that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, feed my sheep.
So 3 times, the 3 times was for the 3 genders. All right. That's the reason why he said it 3 times to this man. Now let's see. He get even more specific. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when you were young, you girded yourself and walked whither you would. But when you shall be old, thou shalt stretch forth your hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither you would go. This he spake, signifying by what death he should glorify God.
Go ahead.
And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, follow me. Then Peter turned about, seized the disciples whom Jesus loved, following, which also leaned on his breast at supper.
They're making it so you understand who this is that was in the boat with Peter. Go ahead.
And said, Lord, which is he that betrays you? Peter, seeing him, says to Yahusha, Lord, and what shall this man do?
What's he talking about betray? Go back. Read that one more again.
Then verse 20. Then Peter, turning about, sees the disciples whom Yahusha loved, following, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, Lord,
okay, come, go ahead.
Which is he that betrays you?
Right, this is what he said. We seen in John 13:23. Go ahead.
Peter, seeing him, says to Yahusha, Lord, and what shall this man do?
He said, what shall this man? He making it specific. Yeah, you telling me, follow. Okay, so what do this man supposed to do? Go ahead.
Yahusha said unto him, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is it that to thee?
He said, if it's my will that he tarry till I come, he said, what that mean to you? Go ahead.
Follow thou me.
Do what?
Follow thou me.
And that's for the brothers that got an issue about it. He said, what is that to you? I said it. So if I said it, what is it to you? He said, your job is to just follow me and do what I told you to do. And feed my sheep. All of them. All three genders. And it's the reason why they try to lump this LGBT garbage in with the eunuchs. Because you can prove that a eunuch was born that way. So because of that, they saying, oh, well, it must be women that was born masculine. It must be women born with men spirits. No, that's not the case. That's a learned behavior here in America, man, where they trying to make the women like men. So that whole mentality is just brought upon these women in Babylon because they're trying to make the women free. We know the Statue of Liberty is the statue of free women, the freedom of women here. That's why women come all over the earth, come from all over the earth to come here and be free. The government gonna protect them and they're gonna be able to do what they want and they man ain't gonna be able to stop them. Why? Because everywhere else, they'll get their ass whooped trying to do something crazy, trying to go outside that house and do whatever. Again, that's another lesson we're going to get into, the discipline of the woman, which a lot of brothers are scared to talk about. Boy, they scared. We're going to bring it out, man. We're going to let you know you got to discipline that woman just as much as you got to discipline your children. They need it. Come.
And really, it's a spiritual thing, man, because you know, as the king sitting here and explaining and breaking all this down, I'm thinking about. I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking about the streets, know, and how I came up. My big homies. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm 55, so that means they 60 or better. 5 or better, right? And now I'm just kind of reflecting back, man, on some of my big homies, and you can't help but to see the spiritual implications of this because remember, we were a people that was taken from our land and our culture and our heritage stripped from us, and we was given a subculture. We was given a way of life that's not ours, but being that we are a people that's begotten by God, who we call God, which is Yahweh, being we're people begotten by Him, all those things wasn't stomped out of us. They was able to get rid of the name, the language, and the knowledge of who the Most High is, and so on and so forth. But it's some of those natural things that they just wasn't able to divest us of, right? So with that being said, I'm saying this right here. Hopefully, y'all who are listening and looking at this, now you can begin to understand some of the things that we've done as a people to each other, not knowing that these things were lawful, but just not lawful against the Israelites, our own. You see what I'm saying? These things were lawful for us to do with our servants of the other nations. I mean, when you really think about it and you follow King as he go through the scripture with this, you will see now. Okay, now I understand why Pimp Longhair was slapping old girl, but it wasn't supposed to be the sister. It was supposed to be the heathen, our servants. You know what I'm saying? So y'all who may be frowned upon this, who may be taking this as a major impact and a shock on your consciousness, say, man, understand that this was our nature. This was something that was given to us by the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we live in these things unwillfully and unknowingly, you know what I'm saying, because we don't know who we are. Just one script to add to what I'm saying, then you can take it back. You're going to go to Jeremiah 17:4. Let me type it in the chat. And whoever got it can bring it out.
This the book of Jeremiah. You got it out?
Yeah, go ahead. 17:4. I'll pull it up on the blue letter as well. I mean, we don't need to, just a little extra script, to kind of show how we lost all this, man, and when it was given back to us, from our enemies, it was given back to us, though we can apply this here to anybody, especially our own kind. Because remember, they taught us to hate each other. You know what I'm saying? So when they taught us to hate each other, and then this came along, this information that they already knew, and they gave it to us, you know what I'm saying? We misrepresented it. This is why you have the pimps and the guerrilla pimps and everything else that you can kind of identify with, but then if you was taught wrong, you see it as something else. I rest.
This the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from the heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you know not.
Salaki, go ahead.
For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Who gave us our heritage?
That the Lord, this is the heritage the Lord gave us.
So everything that Ak is sharing, that King Apollos is sharing, you know what I'm saying, in this lesson, it all comes from the Most High. So anybody that's frowned upon it and got a bad taste in their mouth, to this here or whatever, say, man, you're going against the Most High because this comes from him. I rest. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna step off.
Come. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back around to Matthew 19.
Right now.
Matter of fact, let's get Isaiah 56, the end of Isaiah 56, and then we're gonna grab Matthew 19. Isaiah 56 and verse 5. No, verse 4, 5, and 6.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 4. For thus says the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls.
Hold on, time out. This is another, if you really looking at this, you can see what their excuse is of saying the eunuch is, don't fly with this. Because they saying that they did it so they could serve the Lord. Well, the Lord telling them they already this, and he telling them if they are this is what they got to do. So this is a little sidebar. Go ahead.
Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a name better than of sons and of daughters.
And he wouldn't have to say even unto them if that just the fact that you become a eunuch is all you got to do. Once you become a eunuch, now you serving the Lord. Because the mentality we have in Israel today is a eunuch is a man that just don't have sex with women. He just served the Lord.
A monk.
All right. So a so-called monk, which only a couple brothers I heard come out with that nonsense. But he telling you this and being distinctive. If once you became that eunuch, now you in that land where you serving the Lord, you good to go and all that, he wouldn't have to say even unto them. It would be obviously known. Because that's literally the standard that he did, that he took. The whole point of him becoming that eunuch was to serve the Lord. So it wouldn't have to be even unto them. But go ahead.
It says, I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also, the sons of the strangers that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants. Everyone that keeps the Sabbath from polluting it and takes hold of my covenant.
They still got to take hold of the covenant. They got to keep these laws in order for these Gentiles to make it. Go ahead.
Verse 7, even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar.
Now we have to understand the Lord's house is our house. Okay, it ain't no. He's already said, "Don't build him no house." he ain't worried about you building a church and saying, "Oh, no, that's his house right there." He dwell in us, so our house is his house.
That's right.
That's why the house have to be ran after the way he said it's supposed to be ran. But go ahead.
It says, even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar. For my house shall be called the house of prayer for all people.
Okay, that's what it says. Let's see what the next verse says.
Verse 8, the Lord God, which gathers the outcast of Israel, says, yet will I gather others to him.
I will what?
Gather others to him.
Others can't be Israel. If he just said he gathered Israel, he said he gonna gather others too. Go ahead.
Besides those that are gathered unto him.
That's what he said, man. That's what he said. Let's get Matthew 19 and close it out.
Start at 1.
11.
Context. I think you start before.
Okay,
11.
cool.
Yeah,
so the context.
Yeah.
Well, we're at Matthew 19 and what?
We're gonna start at 1.
Come.
Cool. What up?
Come.
You gonna
hold on. We can say it again.
You gonna blue letter this?
Nah, it's not necessary.
Verse 3, maybe 3.
Nah, it's not necessary.
All right. Come.
You can start at 3. That's cool.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 3. The Pharisees also came to him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
All right, so this one here, another one.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna see it, man. It say what it say. All right. At the end of the day, it say what it say. You can't get mad that it say. So the topic here is marriage. Let's pay attention to the topic. The topic is marriage. All right. Now go ahead.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
Come, go ahead.
Verse 7. They said unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? He said unto them, Moses, because the hardness of your heart suffered you to put away your wives. but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, commits adultery.
You hear that?
And whoso marries her that is put away does commit adultery.
What say I?
I was just badly. I just say, you hear that, girl? She know what I'm
God, go ahead.
Verse 10, he says unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry.
All right, read that part again now.
His disciples said unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry.
So he telling them like, man, if we got to deal with them, it ain't good to marry. Cause we can't put them away. They just wilding out here. So he said, it ain't. If that's the case, it ain't good to get married. So what did Christ say next?
Verse 11. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb.
So he's telling this man that if you get to the point where you don't want to marry them, he gave him another option. Yeah, man, I know, man, I know.
Yeah. And you know what
I know, man. I know.
A whole lot of people finna throw their Bibles away.
I know, man.
Hey, man, some shall depart from the faith, man.
A lot of people.
Come on now, dog.
Hey,
now imagine when the first time I actually would say.
I said a lot of them finna go get them a Eunuch and that sister trip.
Oh yeah, they already gonna do that. My thing is, imagine when I first was reading this, and how much I thought I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I got to be tripping. You feel what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me stop drinking this shit.
hey, real talk. I was like, something is really like, I'm tripping. I was praying to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, please don't make me go off like that. Not like that, Lord.
On the real though, you know, I just thought about when I was in prison, man. I read this book called The Holy Grail, Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and in this book, it's a section in this book, man, where it's not really saying this, what we just taught, but it's kind of hinting at it. About what Christ loved, right? You know what I'm saying? So I advise all you people that's watching this live stream, go find that book, Holy Blood, Holy Grail. However, though, the context of the book, I don't want you to pay attention. I just want you to pay attention to the part where it's talking about Christ, where he's dealing with this certain disciple. The Bible calls him the one that he loved. But check out his book.
Yeah, man. We just here to report the news, man. We don't make news up. We just here to report what it say. You know what I'm saying? We humble servants that fear our God.
56, here our report. Which one is that? Yeah.
Isaiah 56, and all in Isaiah 56, he letting us know, man, you know, he set this up. Like, we can't try to make it seem like we setting it up. He said this, even unto them, they gonna have a place, man.
Yeah,
and for us to then turn around and say they can't, then we out of line. What's say?
Yeah, and for all you virgin ears, man, say, look, you know, I gotta make this disclaimer, man. This right here. You know, in no way, form, or fashion is the disciples of the Mountain of Israel promote anything that's against the law. Let's make that very clear. And if it's not clear to you, man, let me know where you at. I'll come give you a couple of hooks and body shots, and then you understand where we at.
Straight up, man. Yeah, we not going against the law, man, at all. We are.
It's telling you, thus say the law.
Con, what you say, y'all, man? Oh, come on now, dog.
Come on now, dog.
I can see it, but I can't hear it. Yeah, so
right.
we
Now,
just got to accept it.
And not only that, we're not even telling you to go out and look for this and try to put this together or put this down or whatever. However, though, if the Most High make your situation end up being like that, now you know how to deal with it.
Come. And also, if you are around the eunuch, instead of shunning him, you can show him what God say. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to make it seem like he an abomination and all that for the way he was born, that he ain't had no control over, you can show him what the Bible say, man.
As a matter of fact, it's a script. Oh man, it just ran from my head too, man. It'll come back. Just keep talking. It'll come back.
Yeah, nah, that's go ahead, finish it up.
It says verse 12, Matthew 19, verse 12. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it.
If you're able to receive it, let him receive it. Everybody's not able to receive it, man. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. Everybody just not able to receive the truth. Everybody not able to receive what a eunuch is. But we have seen it clearly, as you see in the Josephus. It tell you that they have a feminine soul. We also brought up several videos here throughout this video of other nations already knowing what it is. It's just they hiding it over here, and that for a very good reason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was pretty much it, man. If y'all had anything y'all want to add, you know, if not, we can close it out.
Come. Now I gave my 2 piece, man. For those simple people out there, man. You know. And this is also to you, you haters. I'm just gonna call it like it is. Say, man, don't try to drag our name through the mud because of this teaching that you don't understand. You know, and if you do got some questions or whatever, man, hit us up.
Straight up.
Hit us up, man. And we're gonna go up in that boy. But we know it's the Bible, the Torah. We're gonna find your answer. Because ain't none of what we gave y'all today is our own words, man. It's not our words.
Proverbs 3 and 5.
What you say, y'all, man?
Proverbs 3 and 5.
Put that in there real quick.
Get that this last one real quick.
This the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 16. He that hears you hears me, and he that despises you despises me, and he that despises me despises him that sent me.
That's right. And that was Luke what?
Luke 10, 16.
We only giving you the word of the Lord.
That's it.
And you're not despising us, you despising him.
That's right.
If you're against his word in any way, shape, or form, you are despising him. Now, anybody that got something to say against it, y'all got to be able to prove it with scriptures. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You got to be able to prove what a eunuch is with scriptures. Now, we did a thorough job of proving that. It would be kind of crazy that you didn't understand. But it says not all men gonna understand. So it is what
that's right. Because anything outside of scripture is your own opinion, partner. We ain't doing that. Yeah.
Real talk. So yeah, man, I hope everybody was edified, man. You know, most high willing. You know, if not, like the brother said, hit us up, man. We can go through these scripts and get it in. You know, you get more edified. Hell, I got even more proof. You know what I'm saying, on videos and stuff, just showing what it really is. So, well, I'll show you some more proof. Don't worry. Just give me a holler. You know what I'm saying? Give one of us a holler. We got you.
$4,000.
$4,000. Yeah. So if you haven't, hit that like, that subscribe and share button, man, and let's get this information out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? It's the whole road we trying to give you. We're not trying to give you parts of it. We're not trying to give you the 12. We're trying to give you what happened after the 12 has been rounded up. It's not the 12. Because if we in the kingdom and we look around and our serve as an Israelite, man, we're not in the kingdom. Let me say that again. We're in the kingdom and we look around and one of our servants is an Israelite, we're not in the kingdom. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Straight up. That's what we've becoming right now on this earth right now. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Hopefully y'all was edified, man. We'll get at y'all later, man.
That's right. And with that being said, we're gonna say Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.